I'll probably take off this jacket, but I know it's gonna get much colder later tonight, so I kind of want to just store up all the body heat while I still can. All right, so I just finished working out, so now I want to do this probably before anything else. Technically, the Federal Reserve is speaking right now, but I checked the crypto markets and the stock markets, so it's just another nothing burger. The usual fear and FUD and dread. So for now, this is probably more important than migration to M, especially since it is basically my income on the line, right? As is, I'm sure, all of you. So I just need to fix up the title because I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to title this. Metaverse Pro moving to Ethereum to take over curve wars with Convex finance, Yearn finance. I got 8 more characters for SEO. With Convex finance, Yearn finance, CRV, CVX. There we go. Let's see. Quick intro and setup. All right. Oh man, I have to sneeze here. That's never a good thing. Gotta sneeze. Please don't sneeze. All right, live now. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Actually, I better not say because I don't want to get a copyright claim from fucking Microsoft. All right, HTT blah 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 blah, and we got Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Yes. Okay, I gotta post this to the Discord link. Alright, so I'm posting this here. He's got work to do. That must suck. Let's see. Let me do that. Alright, so with that out of the way, we'll just do like a quick intro while everyone gets in here. Because normally I would just do like a market analysis and then get the whole broad swath thing going. But well, obviously that's really just not going to happen. So I mean, mostly because it's just more just noise. So not really much new to report. Yeah, fear and greed index still down at 24. Markets are down. Wow, the tech stocks are also down a lot. Not surprisingly, cryptocurrencies are also down. Because like Greg Manarino said yesterday, the markets are basically pricing in a Federal Reserve rate hike. So that's taking everything down. All right, it's also taking down tech, and of course cryptocurrencies. So that's probably why that's probably why there's also some pressure going on with Metaverse Pro and Titano. Though I think more Titano is just a little bit of profit taking. Because I'm seeing this right now. I kind of want to do some profit taking on Titano, get a nice like 50% return, and then hope this thing keeps crashing. But if I'm wrong and it doesn't really go down, it's like I don't know. And on top of that, I also figured out that because of the tax and slippage fee, if I sell it now, I think I have to wait till like this price goes down to like 15 cents or something before I can buy back in because of the tax system. Also, I forgot to log into my dummy MetaMask here. All right, so wrong network, switch to BSC mainnet, right? Because I was fiddling with this shit yesterday. All right, so we got this back on. All right, so we got a lot to unpack with the Metaverse Pro Ethereum shit, especially since I'm gonna have to basically explain to everyone what the fucking curve war shit is and why we're going ape nuts over this. So first and foremost, I need to know what's going on in the markets overall since we're gonna rush through this. Well, more like I didn't really look at it. So yeah, so now the market risk has now officially entered moderate. This is for 2 days in a row. So that should actually mean we should see some nice upswings in cryptocurrencies, right? Because like Greg says over here, that's this guy over here, he also said that the current pressure on tech and cryptocurrency, well, he said just tech, but usually when tech goes down, crypto goes down. When tech goes up, right, that is the NASDAQ, cryptocurrencies also tend to go up. So Greg said that tech should be rebounding pretty soon, right? Probably sector rotation as well. So that means we should have a pretty good bump into cryptocurrencies. With a little bit of luck, my Bitcoin will be worth 75 to 100 grand ideally, and then I can exit my call options on Riot blockchain because I have to get out of my positions there, especially since I could use the money. So we'll see what happens. But this week I think is going to be a wash. Next week will probably also be a wash, but maybe we'll see some signs of life. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock or you haven't been paying attention, which is bad, Metaverse Pro put out a proposal yesterday, which I know I did the video on as well. Now that I have a little bit more time and space, and a lot less crap on my plate because I had to do like a million things this week. So today is like the first day I actually didn't have that much to do. In fact, I forgot to call the bank because I was supposed to do that as an errand. But I'm busy doing this shit. But luckily, I think the bank is open 24/7 because everyone outsources to India. So I'll make sure I'll do it after I finish the stream then. So let me. I need to put something on my. Okay, I'll put my phone on my table. That's not gonna work. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna open up my bank on Chrome because obviously you can't see it. And then when I see this, I'll go, oh yeah, I'm supposed to call the bank. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just tell everyone that I'm live because, you know, a lot of questions. Because I'm pretty sure if like I said yesterday, if I really wanted to, I could tank this proposal. Like, we could just stay on BSC. All right, that's how much influence I actually have because I know what I'm talking about. And again, I've been doing this a long time. Well, not tanking projects, but, you know, investing in all that crypto shit. So. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. Oh yeah, that's right, I was finishing my thought because of the stupid bank. So basically what the development team wants to do is they want to move Metaverse Pro into Ethereum blockchain, right? However, and then we'll explain the two different options at least. Excuse me. And again, the primary reason why is because of this, the treasury. Right now, we live or die based on the treasury. I think more or less everyone understands that. The problem is, how do we fund the treasury? The big overall problem or picture, you want to call it, is that because we're stuck on Binance Smart Chain, we don't have access to any of the good cryptocurrency tokens that would just give us a lot more money, right? To put it simply, right? Because all the good coins are all on Ethereum, right? Frax, Avalanche, Shiba, Polygon. I think even Crypto.com coin's on Ethereum. Yeah, Crypto.com coin is on Ethereum. Like every single clown show out in the world, Uniswap too, is all on freaking Ethereum. They're not on Binance Smart Chain. And apparently we really can't just do like cross-chain stuff. Like Crypto.com doesn't have a cross-chain on Binance Smart Coin. So we're essentially screwed. Right? And we're screwed because without other tokens to stake and take advantage of it, this treasury will just never grow. And because it never grows, the project dies, essentially, because it's never growing. All right? Maybe it doesn't die, but it doesn't grow, that's for sure. And then we're just going to be stuck here forever. So that's basically why they want to, that's the negative reason we have to move away from Binance Smart Chain, which I think is a little overblown, the fear. But I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, we do need to refund the treasury. The flip side to that is the very positive reason, which is these stupid things that we're going to be talking about, like the fucking curve wars. Now that I finally had a chance to actually have some time to read all this shit and go through like these highly technical videos that were being posted in the public chat, I actually understand now what's so good about this shit. So, essentially speaking, Curve, which is the foundation for all this shit, and we'll get more into it later as we'll go through this article. That's why I have this whole thing open, because we're just going to go through the whole thing, and then I'll just try to explain what all this, mumbo jumbo really means. Basically, Curve has figured out a way to basically grant you a very large amount of risk-free income. Because Curve basically is like a stablecoin, AMM, trading DEX kind of thing, and it's also a yield farmer. So when you have Beefy Finance or Pancake Swap, where they'll just take any coin and then just make a crazy yield, but then there's a lot of price volatility, usually to the downside. Curve figured out how to basically take that same concept and apply it to stablecoins, USDC, Tether, LUSD, and I guess Binance Dollar, whatever. Or actually, they're on the Ethereum, so probably DAI, and all that other shit. Now, the problem is normally when you have risk-free money, right, in a stable coin, because that's really what it is, the yield's very low, like 3, 4, 5%, which is still much better than what the stupid central banks are doing right now. So even if the Federal Reserve, does raise rates, right, this year, and of course the whole world will follow suit and they'll raise their rates, you're still not going to get much on your dollar, right? You're still going to get peanuts, and then inflation and the devaluation of your dollar, right, thanks to the money hyper printing supply that's posted by the Federal Reserve in St. Louis, which is, right here. You're losing inflation goes up and you're getting killed by losing 14% of your dollars. All right, I mean, just look at this. This is how much US dollars are being printed in circulation in the world. So you've lost 14 or 15% of your money, just doing literally nothing. So with that being said, Curve, that's this clown over here, figured out how to get around it. Now, I would still have to take a look at it, but basically what they do is they create like a bunch of other coins, and they just give that to you for free for staking and providing liquidity and all that stuff. I'm grossly oversimplifying it, but that's basically what it is. But then they figured out how to make it all risk-free or very close to risk-free. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So that's the financial side of Curve. Now, the other side is Curve is also a DAO, just like Metaverse Pro. It's a decentralized autonomous organization, I think is what it stands for, right? It's a governance token. So basically, the more money or the more Curve tokens you have, the more voting power that you have, and then you can do whatever you want with that voting power. Now, usually what happens, from my understanding, is Curve, if you have enough voting power, you can vote for extra rewards to go into your pool. So it's kind of like a democracy where, like, I don't know, you get a bunch of politicians and then you just say, fuck you Democrats and fuck you Republicans. That's what we have here in America. I'm gonna vote to have all the money be given to myself, right? So that's essentially why there's a huge incentive to buy a shit ton of Curve. You get more voting power and therefore use that voting power to assign yourself all the free extra goodies. So instead of getting, I don't know, 20, 25% APY a year, thanks to your voting power, now you're going to be voting yourself 30% or 35% APY because there's like extra fees and whatever money is being generated in the Curve ecosystem. And that's always up for grabs. You just have to constantly vote on it. So that's kind of like an interesting way of competing for money, essentially. So that's why everyone is basically buying up Curve. And that's actually why Curve is actually number, it was 58, yeah. That's why it's number 58 on CoinMarketCap. Like, this clown is going straight to the moon. And there is a fixed max supply, which you can see is 3.3 billion or so. And according to the video that Crom kept spamming, or maybe it was Kama, one of the mods, it's going to take 300 years for all of this to get mined out. So we never have to worry about hitting supply cap for Curve for 300 years. So basically, for our purposes, it's basically an infinite, amount of, money to compete for. Oh, I don't see anyone saying anything in the chat. So let me catch my breath here a little bit. Because I actually want to go back to playing Eidolon, because I need to relax. Because this is all mentally very taxing. Plus, I still want to cover physically from walking 6 miles on Monday and yesterday in total. Like, I don't have any more blisters, but I can kind of feel it a little bit in my feet. Okay. So, now that we got Curve out of the way, what's Convex? And then, because of that, why the hell do we care as Metaverse Pro, right? And why are the developers so crazy about it? Okay, so this is where I have to kind of think, what should I go into next? All right, so actually, before I get into Convex, let's just look at Curve again. So as I said, Curve basically figured out, just listening, man, thanks a lot for the stream. Yeah, no problem, Marcus. Yeah, nice to see you here, by the way. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe and whatever, help this channel grow, because it actually helps all of us, especially me. which then I can feed it back into the Metaverse Pro community so people can make more informed decisions. Because this is actually pretty important, obviously. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So basically, like I said, Curve basically figured out how to create like a very low risk or almost no risk stablecoin yield. So basically, you're earning 25% plus. I'm just throwing a number out there, but I think that's like the approximation, 25%. Well, let's just do a little conservatively, 20%. You're getting risk-free 20% APY in your stablecoins, right? Now, what is Metaverse Pro's problem? We have the exact same problem. We have a shitty treasury that's not making any money, and because DAO treasuries mostly consist of stablecoins, we need a reliable way to have those treasury earn risk-free 20, 25, 30% APY. Right? That's why Metaverse Pro desperately wants to go into Curve, or at least in general speaking. We're actually going to Convex, but let's keep it simple for now. Right? The reason why we want to get to Curve is we need that APY. If we can get that APY from the Curve Wars, we can seriously juice up the treasury, which means we can totally juice up the 6.6 staking supply. All right, we're not going to do 3.3 juicing on the APY because this is the inflationary portion of the project. So that's what was that's fucking us up. But all the money has to flow into here, the 6.6 staking pool. All right, but this only gets sustained as long as the treasury has money. So do you see how this financial logic loop operates? And people still don't understand this. 6.6 does not mint new tokens. It recycles, as Sim says. That's not a good word he should be using. Basically, this thing buys up existing Metaverse Pro tokens, or eventually Congruent is the new brand name. And then it creates buying pressure in the open market without creating new inflation. So it's actually like a semi-deflationary mechanism, right? And because the APY is so high, there's a huge incentive to actually create more buying pressure to buy this stupid thing, right? That's exactly how Titano Finance operates, right? They have a taxation slippage system where they use all of their tax money to basically keep buying up Titano constantly. That's why all their shit is constantly green with buying pressure, right? This is the positive feedback loop that keeps Titano Finance alive, and therefore generating like obscene amounts of APY in a very stable manner. Now we're trying to do the exact same thing in the Metaverse Pro version of this logic loop. But the problem is, this is obviously a much more complicated project. So we have to do all this convoluted bullshit, which essentially means we have to enter the Curve Wars. Oh boy. So, guy here from Discord going to listen and learn. Yep. Well, you're definitely going to learn a lot, that's for sure, because I've been learning a lot of shit. Yeah, and that's just a spammer. Okay, fine, whatever. So that's why we can juice up the treasury in Metaverse Pro. This APY can either be the same or we can increase it. We can do whatever we want with it. But the point is, the project will be alive and thriving, right? We're not going to be in like a slow death loop, which I don't think we're in a death loop. We're just not growing, right? But we really need to grow. Otherwise, we'll just be stuck here forever, and that's not really fun. Okay. So with that being said, I mean, I don't know how much of this technical shit I want to get into, but there's obviously some conditions for Curve, right, in order for you to get the benefit of Curve, right? Specifically, I think the big thing is something called locking. So when you buy Curve, in order to get your rewards from Curve, you have to stake it like you would normally do, right? Now, Curve has an interesting system where when you stake it, you have to lock your tokens in order to stake, which means you cannot get your money back until your Curve tokens specifically until after a time has expired. So you can lock your Curve for up to 1 week, probably 2 weeks, a month, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. So once you lock it in, it never goes out until after then. So if you're like a 4-year Curve locker, you can't pull out that money for 4 years, literally. So the Curve just stays in there. So, and of course, people are willing to do that, and blah, 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 blah. Now, what Convex Finance, or Convex for short, what they figured out how to do is get all the benefit of Curve, but without the locking period. And now that I understand that Curve has multiple different locking periods, I think I figured out how Convex did it, right? Convex basically must have some kind of, I assume they have some kind of really smart team like we do, right? And I'm on the policy team, of course. The bond policy team specifically. So what Convex probably does is they probably stagger their time locking periods. So whenever they get Curve, they probably lock it for very different time periods. 1 month, 2 month, 2 weeks, a year, and then so on and so forth. So they stagger their locking period, so that way people who just want to leave the project of Convex for whatever reason, though there's enough money in the pool to just simply bail out, right? And I assume that the longer you lock your Curve tokens for, the more reward that you get. Okay, so yeah, so basically let me see if I can scroll down to, because we already went through the setup, so maybe this would be, I would prefer the picture here. Okay, I guess we could look at this for a little bit, and we'll get to the voting power thing. Okay, so what Convex basically did was they figured out a way to get all of this Curve tokens for free, essentially. I mean, that's how I look at it. They get it for free. So not only does Convex Finance get all the Curve tokens for free using other people's money, OPM, but that Curve never ever leaves Convex, right? Because you're looking at a flow chart here of how the whole thing works. You don't have to worry too much about this. Just basically know that this is all like everyone's money in different forms. Traders, staking fees, staking pools, liquidity pool fees, blah, blah, blah. Basically what's happening is if you put your Curve and stake it into Convex instead, you get back Convex tokens, a generous amount or at least an equal amount. And the protocol, the Convex Finance protocol, owns the Curve itself, right? It's not too much different from over here in Metaverse Pro, where if you bought a bond, for example, the protocol takes control of your USDC or Binance or wrapped Binance coin, whatever you use. And the protocol here in Metaverse Pro gives you back Metaverse Pro tokens, right? But the protocol actually owns the underlying asset. Convex Finance does the exact same thing, except they give you a Convex token, but they keep the Curve. Because what is the most valuable thing in this whole shebang, right? The Curve token. The Curve token is everything. So what's happening is because there's a fixed amount of Curve, Convex is basically automated the complete monopolization of Curve tokens. So they get infinite Curve, and because remember, you get the protocol takes Curve and Convex, but they never ship it out. It stays in Convex. And number two, because there's so much shit to juggle. Let me think. Oh, this is live. Nice. Yeah. Oh, hey, Terrazone. Oh, you actually made it. Also, is that Bugs Bunny? I can't tell because the icon's small. I'll read the last comment in just a second. I need to try to finish this thought because this is actually the crux of the whole reason why we're all going through this shit. Oh, right. Okay. So because Convex basically has an infinite loop of Curve tokens, and now that and according to this article, which was written like 4 months ago or something like that, 3-4 months ago, Convex is the largest shareholder of Curve tokens, which means that the biggest voter in the Curve ecosystem is Convex. So now Convex basically controls Curve, right? If there's something they don't like about you, they'll just vote you out, right? They'll vote you out. So Convex basically owns Curve as of right now. So why is that important? Which leads us down to this little handy chart. Basically, this is important because if you want all the benefits of Curve with none of the downsides, you actually want to buy Convex tokens, because buying Convex tokens is your ticket to getting Curve tokens. And remember what I just said. Curve never, Fucking hell. Curve never leaves. What is wrong with this website? Curve never leaves Convex. So you buy Convex, you're essentially buying Curve, right? So what's the point of going anywhere else? And that's exactly why Convex is literally buying up everything. And as this article later goes on, they actually said that Convex is like, it didn't say the first one, but I think based on what I'm reading, it is the first protocol. It is the first protocol on Curve to successfully hoard all the Curve and create like a symbiotic relationship with the Curve ecosystem. Because what a bunch of other protocols on Curve are doing is they take the Curve and they immediately dump it on the open market to provide yield for their, people or their tribe, right? But that's damaging to Curve because obviously that's constant sell pressure. Convex is like the first protocol that reverses that trend. Now it's just constant buying pressure. So people who are the original adopters of Curve will look at this and go, you know what? Convex is nice to us. Everyone else is a parasitic F-word asshole. Let's just vote for Convex then. Fuck the other people. And that's literally exactly what's happening. Right? That's why this is happening. Yearn Finance is the biggest competitor, but not for much longer, because this is Convex, this red line. They just came out of nowhere and going straight to the moon, while Yearn is slowly declining, right? Because Yearn operates on a parasitic economic system, whereas Convex is a pro everybody wins situation. In fact, they're so good at it, even Yearn Finance is buying up Convex tokens to, mitigate the damage that's happening to Yearn Finance. All right, let's pause a little bit and then I'll read the chat, let you guys digest it. Oh, fuck, there's so much shit going on in chat, which is actually a good thing. Let me scroll up a bit. What can we trade the token for, though? You can trade your Convex tokens on the open market like anything else. Otherwise, you can stake and lock your Convex tokens on the Convex finance system for like 4 weeks and 3 days. I think that, or 16 weeks and 3 days. It's mentioned in this article, but it's a lot less than Curve. So, but it's like any other token. You just do whatever you want with it. But if you want to participate in Convex Finance's ecosystem, I think you have to stake it and therefore lock it, just like you would Curve. So that's how they handle that, which I think is obviously fine. No, it's my Playboy Rabbit. Oh, okay. The struggle is real. Yeah, well, we're about to explain. Oh, hey, Sane. Yeah, we're about to explain what the Curve War is. Actually, I kind of already talked about it. This whole thing that I described just now is the Curve War, right? Everyone's competing for Curve tokens. That's all that it is. Everybody wants to buy up a shit ton of Curve tokens, and everyone's competing against each other. And that's called the Curve War. Because again, the more Curve tokens you have, the more voting power that you have, and the more voting power that you have, you can control who comes in and out of the protocol Curve's ecosystem. You can also control how much rewards go to who. So if you have the most voting power, you're obviously going to just keep out all the assholes, and you're going to vote all the money to yourself, essentially, right? And probably to your allies. It's a very fascinating concept. It's exactly like real life politics, except I guess in a way much better. It's so fascinating. All right, what's up? Yes, oh, you're talking to the others. Rapid Tard, okay. Card, you teaching my class tomorrow? I'm about to just. No, thanks. I do these videos instead because I'm constantly just busy. But you're welcome to just tell other people about this video and have them watch it and then just extrapolate from this video to their own classes. I have no problem with that. Run this during a class. Yeah, if you're feeling very lazy, just replay this video on class. That's it. Take notes, sure. Nah, no point for Ethereum. People moving from F. I like F. Oh, okay. I think I understand. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the problem of moving to Ethereum later. First, I have to explain why we're doing this, all right? Because at first, I was actually very hostile towards this proposal, but now that I'm actually reading this more, there's really only one. I mean, the Ethereum fees are kind of a problem, but really there's only one big problem, right? I've already mentioned this already, and other people have, and we're definitely going to go over in the AMA. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but And that's share dilution, but we'll talk about that later too. F word asshole, we might as well buy Convex, F the other guys, LMAO. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what the curve war is. That's why everyone's like going crazy but trying to get curve and shutting everybody else out. Terra gonna replay this during, oh, I read that. FYI, I see a lot of new people here. So thanks everybody for sharing this. You guys should also continue sharing this in the Discord, because this is going to allow everyone to make a very good informed decision, so that when we have the AMA Friday, that's in 2 days, everyone's going to be up to speed essentially, and then we'll have better information to work with. Because all I care about is the share dilution problem when we do the migration to Ethereum. So glad I can. Also, I'm curious to see if it looks like Metaverse Pro is going to move to Ethereum. I want to see what effect that has on the price of Metaverse Pro, because I already have stated that the reason why Metaverse Pro went up was, especially January 4th, was because of the Ethereum proposal. If you look very closely, this is January 4th, our only green candle, essentially, after like a couple of weeks of getting raped in the ass with a spiked dildo. And then today it's now down because the free market, I think, is saying, oh, they may not go to Ethereum after all, dump the project. And then now they're just waiting and seeing. Which means I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I was still reading chat. Cons, the official NFT, Playwire. Oh, okay, I don't know. So we can stake in Convex. They stake in Curve. Yes, exactly. Convex provides us with a shorter lockage period, correct, and voting power to vote for our rewards, pretty much. That's exactly what it is in a nutshell. Basically, you get, like I said before, Convex allows us to have all of the benefits of Curve plus a little extra rewards and basically no downsides from Curve. It's so effing brilliant. It's like, I can't believe somebody figured this out. I can't believe this is actually possible. Holy crap, better not let your wife know. Force and CD. Curve got a total supply now, but it's deflationary. Yes. And it will be gone in 2340-ish. Yes. Vitalik literally said BNB is the Ethereum killer. Well, if Vitalik Buterin actually said that, then that's no longer valid, because obviously Vitalik Buterin is going to, work hard to make sure that doesn't happen. I like Binance Smart Chain, but again, all the money and good projects are on Ethereum. So we're kind of just stuck dealing with Ethereum. And eventually, the beacon chain shit and Ethereum 2.0 will be released. And I looked at the Ethereum website. The shard chain, which is when the gas fees will finally freaking go down, is going to come out in 2023. It might come out later this year. We'll have to see. I have a serious issue with that in case they made an aging cure. Oh, that's something different. We'll complain with... Okay, and then, hey, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan, you definitely came in at a very interesting time, because this is mostly like people from the Metaverse Pro Discord. So you can definitely say hi to them, but... Yeah, we got a lot of people in here. Well, at least more than I normally... I mean, I don't even know how many people are viewing it, but I don't want to know. I just know it's a lot of people. But yeah, stuff like this, Ryan, is the reason why that even if Saint Nick fails and everything goes to shit in the real world, this is what's going to save us from the fucking globalists. At least until they, really clamp down on cryptocurrencies and DeFi. Do we know the exchange from Meta to Congra? Is it going to be 1-to-1? I have zero idea. I mean, they're going to have to, they haven't revealed it yet, so we'll probably find out the details later, and technically it doesn't matter. But I kind of like the idea of just 1-to-1. I mean, how many meta clowns are there? Yeah, right now there's like, I don't know, approximately 718,000 Metaverse Pro token clowns out there. It's not that big of a deal to just make it 1-to-1, right? One meta for one gas or something like that, right? And I'm still not a very big fan of the acronym for Congreg, like gas. We all want to hear if this is a good move or not. Yeah, I'm explaining the whole thing, Peter. Yes. But yes, it is a good move. Actually, if you just got in here, you actually missed a lot of the important half, but I'm not going to repeat it. You'll just have to watch the replay. Just text me every time you're live and I'll bring the boys. Yeah. Well, I usually just put it in the Discord and then I just rely on you guys. Wait, what is Metaverse Pro moving to F? Yeah, that's the proposal on Discord, is to move Metaverse Pro to Ethereum, which is a very drastic move. So I heard it, love it so far, man. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, man. Governing as a service, gas, gas. I don't know. I mean, it also is the same word for like when you have to go fart. You know, a little branding thing. Okay, so before I go any further, right? So the reason why we have to move to Ethereum or something like that is because in order to buy and stake Convex, you have to be on Ethereum. Convex is only on the Ethereum blockchain, which makes this a lot more effing annoying. Now, Sim, right, the head of policy, bond policy himself, he actually knows a lot more than just bonds. He actually said it himself that he prefers, and he said as a public check, that he prefers a multi-chain solution, which is actually something I would support and I like. And everybody else in the chat actually supports that too. It's a much better middle of the ground option. But again, I don't know why the devs are going really, really nutty over just moving the whole freaking thing over to Ethereum. So I guess we'll find out on the AMA on Friday. Now, again, the reason why for the move is, like I said, Convex can only be bought and staked and used if you're on the Ethereum blockchain. But here's the problem. We're on the Binance Smart Chain. And obviously all of our treasury assets are on this Binance Smart Chain. So in order to have our treasury on Binance Smart Chain take advantage of Ethereum, what do you have to do? You have to pick up this entire shit, the treasury, and move it to Ethereum. Like, you literally have to move it. And that's why we've got the proposal that we have now, and that's why we're having this pretty chaotic discussion, which actually isn't that bad. I also noticed that the general IQ level of everyone is actually much higher, which is good because, you know, a week or two ago, everybody was just getting angry and very low IQ. And it's like, you know, are we going to survive this, right? I mean, I didn't really have that much doubt because I knew the team was solid, but it's like, oh, God, you know, people need to, you know, read a book or something so they don't freak out as much. So that's why that's why we have the thing. Now, I think with a multi-chain deployment option instead of just moving over, that basically means that I guess there's a couple of ways you could do it, but because again, this is beyond my technical ability, but I think the developers can just simply create a new contract and a bunch of new tokens on Ethereum and then create a bridge between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. So we can have both Metaverse Pro and Congruent on Ethereum. And I think that would just be much better. But there is an issue with that too, because I forgot who said this, but I think it was a mod or a dev. It was probably a dev, actually. I think he actually said that the reason why a bridge and a multi-chain option will not work is because we don't get access to this clown over here, the voting rights. Because believe it or not, these voting rights also contribute to directly the amount of money that you earn. Because obviously you don't have voting rights, then you can't vote for yourself and give yourself all the money, right? Some other asshole clown's gonna vote for themselves all the money that you and I are entitled to. So it's kind of annoying, right? It's kind of annoying. So again, the only way to get around all that is to just literally freaking move to Ethereum. Oh boy. All right, let me read what you guys are saying. If we migrate, we delete the uncirculating supply, so we burn like 40k tokens with the move. Yeah, I think so. People won't complain for gas anymore. Yeah. Well, they'll complain about Ethereum gas. Multi-chain is on the road. Yeah, again, I still think multi-chain and bridging is much better solution. LMAO, one of the Lambos. Not for a while, I think. I hope they're coming though, because I need to buy a house and get out of New York City, because that's where I am. I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Would it not be multi-chain? It'll just be on Ethereum. Well, the proposal we have now is not multi-chain. It literally means we go to Ethereum, so we abandon Binance Smart Chain. Like, side projects related to Metaverse Pro will still remain on Binance Smart Chain, but for our purposes, the treasury is Metaverse Pro, and the treasury goes completely to Ethereum. That basically means we're an Ethereum project then. Proposal to move to F, Matter Ash stays on Binance. Yeah, it's not practically. It will stay on Binance. Move it to XRPL and no, forget it. No XRP, please. Oh yeah, for all of you who are new, I absolutely hate XRP. Mostly because I don't like their community. Can we move to F and still multi-chain with others, but with the main in F? Yeah, you could totally do that, Peter. Yeah, you can totally do that. In fact, that's what Polygon and Avalanche and a bunch of other Ethereum tokens do. They do multi-chain. Curve, interestingly enough, is multi-chain. Convex is not. And that's the thing. If you could do that, then why move to F, right? Why not just do multi-chain here in Binance Smart Chain and then just have one of the chains go to Ethereum, which is again why we're bringing that up too. So I don't know, but yeah, that's basically it. And then here's a summary of all the benefits of Convex, investing in Convex instead of Curve. All right, and here's a picture of Yearn investing in Convex Finance because obviously Yearn is getting their asses kicked here, right? You see the Yearn is this blue line is slowly declining, and this was 3-4 months ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if this blue line is a lot lower, unless they've been buying up a shit ton of Convex to compensate. 50 plus watching YouTube, nice numbers. Are you serious? Well, let's see if my backend is correctly reporting that number. Well, it's not refreshing live. Oh yeah, you're right. It's 49. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, because as you can tell, Ryan, this thing is a really big problem. Big problem because we're literally changing the entire cryptocurrency project, and I actually get to play a critical role in that. Because remember, I know a lot about everything, so I have very strong persuasive. I don't want to say powers, but yeah. Remember, I started out with, the whole Donald Trump shit in 2015, right? And then eventually link up with Scott Adams and Mike Cernovich, right? If we can get fucking Donald Trump elected, yeah, I can convince everybody in the Metaverse Pro community to either back this proposal or tank that shit, right? And originally I wanted to tank this shit because I was like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing, all right? But again, now that I'm more educated, because this shit is so complicated, I'm able to process it, and I also took care of my real life errands, or at least some of them. I actually have time to actually go through this crap and then really take a good look. So, okay, hold on. Well, I'll read comments in general. Let me finish this thought. So basically, what does this come down to? All right. We can stay on Binance Smart Chain and continue as we are, but we're not going to grow, essentially. And then we're going to be kind of screwed-ish, right? We're not going to make as much money. But on the other hand, not too much will change anyway. So there's no, what we call in business world, no switching cost, right? We're basically embracing the short term at the cost of losing the medium and long term. But if we move to Ethereum, essentially, and however we decide to do it, we're giving up the short term in exchange for having a much better medium and long term. That's always been the classic investing dilemma, right? You need to pay bills now, but if you can sacrifice some money and buy that really good investment now, it'll pay off for you way later, right? That's what happened to me in 2017, right? I had $500 left. I was living with mom and dad. And I make that fateful decision. I've told this story a million times. I'll tell it again for all you new people. November 16th, 2016, right? I literally was at my computer. It was just me. I closed my eyes, and I was like, all right, Jesus. All right, God. We went through all these hoops. I finished making the movie. Everything kind of sucks. What do you want me to do? All right, I type in high proof of stake, APY coin or something like that in Google. The first couple of search results was 808 coin, and then long story short, I make 808% APY a year. So I turned my $500 into 254 grand by the end of 2017. So, and it sucked because it was my last $500. I was living with mom and dad, but I was like, if I don't change something, I'm going to be living with mom and dad forever and then go crazy, right? So luckily it worked out because that's why you and I are here right now. So I'm kind of hoping this time around it'll work out again. Because if not, I'm moving back in with mom and dad. In fact, I'd rather be homeless than move it. Like I would literally take all my stuff, put it in storage here, pay the $30 a month, and then just go be homeless. I would rather do that. All right. So it's gonna be. So this better work out. All right. You know, you guys are fretting over whatever, especially like a few bucks. Well, some of you are. Okay. You know, I'm. All right. I have to juggle homelessness. Now I'm not actually worried. So, you know, thankfully, because, you know, I'm a Christian and all that stuff. Now I forgave mom and dad and all that stuff. So, but, you know, we got our work cut. I have my work cut out for me. So, again, as long as I can make sure that the developers don't screw us on the share dilution, you know, I got to pull up the proposal, actually, because we need to look at that. Because there's only one thing in the proposal that actually matters, and that's the fundraising round that was mentioned. Let's see. Congruent ideation. I think that's the document. Yeah, this looks right. All right. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Actually, now that I know a lot more, I should probably read this again off stream. All right, so this is the proposal. If it could fucking load. Are you effing kidding me? What? Why is this not working? It loads. Oh, do I have to sign in? Oh, never mind. All right. Yeah. We'll look at it. But this is what's pinned on the public chat for our consideration. So as long as we handle the share dilution, everything else will work out just fine. That's like the TLDR. Because the sooner we can get in on Convex, the sooner that we can start juicing up the treasury by like a lot, right? And the sooner we juice up the treasury, the sooner we can juice up 6.6 or 3.3. But I think it's going to be more like 6.6 because we still will have the 3.3 pool, and that's inflationary, and we want to avoid that for obvious reasons because, you know, we already right? Because when we didn't fix the APY, this is what fucking happened to everything, right? Shit just jumped off a cliff, right? They literally jumped off a cliff. So, you know, but again, like I said earlier, and I'll repeat this again, we don't have a big juiced up treasury. This APY that we're now enjoying, that's deflationary or semi-deflationary, I should say. Yeah, we're kind of screwed, or we're not going to make anywhere near as much money. And that's what we want. You want to buy those Lamborghinis? I mean, we need to juice this up. There's no way around it. Oh, God. All right. Oh, my God. The chat's going out of control. Let's see. Templar DAO. They are on the Binance Smart Chain and Moonriver, but they have part of their treasury invested in Wonderland and Olympus, which is not totally different chains. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm kind of like, why can't we just do a multi-chain, right? But there must be a reason. On the other hand, Templar DAO, I think, does not invest in Convex. Because I think technically speaking, they're not able to because of the reasons I just described. It's a technical problem that can only be solved if you physically move to Ethereum blockchain. Maybe we can suggest Sim or Holy to look into it. Well, unfortunately, I went so fast, I don't know what that means. But yeah, of course, you'll have to tag them. For whatever it is the confidence, what a Chad. Yes. If you're referring to me, then the answer is yes. Also, I live in New York City, so we actually have very good welfare programs. So, and I already know I can get free food. So all I have to worry about is figuring out how to get free shelter to sleep at night. We technically have homeless shelters, so I just have to figure something out with that. And then for showering and cleaning my clothes, I'll go pay $5, $10 a month to Planet Fitness because they're all over the place here, and then just use their showers. Done. I already cleaned my clothes in the bathtub. All right, I've got a little bucket. It's full of water. I douse it with liquid soap, and I just soak it, and that's it. And my clothes are very clean. You know, I mean, remember, like when you're poor, when you grow up poor like me, right, and you read about how America used to be, who are also kind of poor. You develop resourcefulness and innovation because you have to. If you don't, you literally do not survive. And that's what this looks like. I know a lot about everything. Yes, I do. I really do. You got Trump elected, I am an asshole. Yes. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm actually kind of pissed off at Trump now, but for very different reasons. Unfortunately, he's still probably going to be president in 2024 unless the Democrats rig the election again. So it's just too far out there. So we'll see what happens. Or Ron DeSantis decides to run against Trump in the primary, in which case Ron DeSantis will be running for president, and he'll definitely be the new president. And at that point, I would probably be okay with that. I mean, I just have to hope that we don't lose Florida, right? Because that's the state I'm moving to. But now we're getting a little bit beyond what the thing is. Also, it technically doesn't matter who's president anyway, because the president of the world, or the United States, but really the world, are these fucking assholes. The Federal Reserve. Right? Why do you think there's so much tyranny, for all of you who are new, why do you think there's so much tyranny in the world? It's because central banks control everything. They issue the money supply, which then is used to pay for everything, specifically military, cops, who are beating people up on the streets. I tweet it from time to time, right? Like 6 German cops surrounded like a nice looking woman who was just walking her dog and they arrested her. Another video by Disclosed.tv shows like a cop beating a person, supposedly a woman, in the back of a bus. And then everybody was out there recording it. So you know what the cop did? Was beating supposedly it was a woman. He just closed the curtain so now you can't see anything. That's the kind of shit that these stupid globalist fucks are doing. And they can do that because they have control of the money supply. So that's why I'm like really gung-ho about crypto. Not just because I want to get rich, but because it's really about, freedom and shit. And taking down the fucking asshole Satanist globalist blah blah blah. Harringer's in the house is on the line. Our worries are nothing. Yeah. Well, I'm sure other people also spent a lot of money too. So, also I live in a shitty apartment. Well, the apartment's not shitty. I actually really like it, but it is a small apartment. That escalated quickly. Go back to the subject. Yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing too. These things actually affect crypto. Believe it or not. That's why I talk about them. Plan B said the exact same thing. I love the sidebars. Thanks. What's the sidebar? Estimate of the 665 and Ethereum side. It should be a lot higher. Like basically we'll have more options. I want a high APY that's sustainable. That's what matters. Because I already did the math. There's not much difference between 220,000 APY and 45,000 APY. The literal difference in daily ROI APR is 1.8% versus 2.1%. It's very minuscule. I'm going to have to start skipping some comments so I can get through this. What happened to the curve convex explanation? Show the peeps the lock values in curve and convex, bro. Why it's safe to get our treasury money in there. And what happens in the bear market? I actually don't understand. I didn't actually have a chance to look at that comma. Actually, I assume you're a comma from the mod, right? But I think you just came in later. I already explained what the whole basic logic of moving over is. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that. People are more or less on board with this. The peace value lock curve, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's more. See, I'm also trying to deliberately try to avoid the really complicated shit. Because then if people see that, then they're just going to say, yeah, I don't understand this. My vote is no. So, yeah. President of the world is a devil. Oh, yeah. You better believe it. It's only going to get worse, by the way. So, Central Bank of Sweden. It's the world's lowest central bank, fourth lowest bank in operation. Yeah. No comment. Yeah, in Sweden, I mean, Sweden's doing okay, but no comment from different comment, right. How many comma you know? Oh, well, if you're different, then there's 2 different commas. All right, well, let's keep going. I don't know. Shit, there's so much to cover. I think I covered a lot. Let's see. So we can ignore some of this. What was this? Oh, yeah, this is a summary of Yearn Finance trying to buy up Convex. Blah, 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 blah. And here's some numbers. Very, very confusing. But basically, all you need to know is... Excuse me. There was a thing here. P ratio. They're using a stock term there. Here we go. Down here, it's basically saying that if you want to invest in Curve and get all the yields, you're better off buying cheap Curve or cheap Convex, I should say, I think. and basically Convex is undervalued when considering voting incentives. So basically, this article is also saying that the voting incentives are worth a lot of money. That's essentially what they're saying. And they try to quantify by saying it's worth 3.8 or 8.4x, right? Because we saw that thing up there. All we know is having those voting rights on Curve ultimately is worth a lot of money. Because again, like I said, gives you control over your competitors, literally. And number two, you can vote yourself to have all the free money, rewards, and then tell everyone else to F off, right? That's actually worth a lot. Because if someone else has that power, they're going to vote themselves all the money and you get nothing, or you get very little or something like that. I don't exactly know what exactly happens in the voting system. All I know is you want the votes. You really want those votes. All right? You got to be like the Democrats in 2020, right? Do whatever you can to get the votes. Oh, don't have them, just fucking print that shit out of thin air, right? And then just have your other guys just tear up the Trump voter stuff, right? And I mean, anything goes at this point. Bitcoin is dumping right now. Oh, that is not good. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because right now the Federal Reserve is speaking or something like that, so shit's going down right now. Yeah, God, this is so frustrating. Where it compares the build models. Oh, and that's the end of the article. Yeah. So basically, Convex basically figured everything out, right? TLDR. And that's why we really want to jump on the Convex train while we still have a chance. Do you believe the election was rigged? I actually can't talk too much about it because it's technically against the terms of service of YouTube. But there's more than enough evidence. I tweeted. I mean, if you go back to my old tweets, especially from last year, I posted all the evidence. But it also technically does not matter because at this point, nobody gives a shit. And the Republican Party is totally worthless. And I think they're controlled opposition, so they're not going to do anything. On the bright side, we can buy cheaper Ethereum for gas. Oh yeah, that is true. What? Yeah. Let's see. Ether scan gas tracker. What's it at right now? Yeah, it's actually cheaper, technically speaking, because the gas GUI is higher, but the dollar USD cost is still the same during normal peak hours. Yeah, fuck. That's gonna suck though, man. Paying $20 to $60 if I'm lucky for transaction fees on Ethereum, if and when we do move. 42.5. This is a poor entry price for institutions in the world, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be temporary terror zone. Right now, it's just idiots and fear fudders just, just dumping. I mean, tomorrow the markets will be back up, trust me. Because we already hit all-time highs, I think, today, and then it just pulls back. It's literally nothing. It's all fear and noise, so I wouldn't worry about it. Because normally I cover the markets, Bitcoin searches. I cover a lot of things, so that's why I'm able to know everything, right? So, at least for now. Definitely not commenter or playing this in class. Oh yeah, I do curse a lot, so you'll just have to borrow from my video. If you remove the swears, only chart left, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, only chart is left. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we went over what the incentive for everything is and why we're doing it. So now, I actually need to reread this proposal again, because now that I actually understand what the hell we're getting ourselves into, I can probably understand this better. Because they also wrote here that there's some risks involved that the devs specifically pointed out. But I guess I'll read that later. Oh yeah, and then what happens if governance fails. Alright, so the only thing that I really need to look at is this. Yeah, this is it. I guess I could try to make this bigger. That's very big. Okay, so right now, this is us on the left-hand side, the Metaverse Pro Treasury, and we obviously just spent most of the stream talking literally about this. I talked about Convex and Curve, right? So we need to make the move from Metaverse Pro to Ethereum so we can basically buy up Convex and therefore buy up Curve. Now, what's this little clown in the middle? The congruent fund, right? Now, according to number 2 over here, was it number 2? Okay. Yeah, it was this number 2. Plan of action. Steps to be taken. All assets in the treasury will be used to invest in the Curve War project, which I assume right now means we're going into Convex. Metaverse Pro will use all the funds from the treasury to participate in the token sale of Congruent, essentially investing in Congruent, and will then swap the Congruent tokens received, gas, at a set ratio of meta tokens so that all meta holders effectively become gas holders. Right, we're basically swapping our Metaverse Pro tokens for gas tokens, which are now on the Ethereum blockchain. And then they use an example here, which is why everyone's citing this. This thing is an example. It's not set in stone. They're just throwing a number out there, right? Just for communication purposes, right? 10 to 1. This is the thing that is going to cause a real problem. Congruent will hold a new funding round on the Ethereum network. So, and then of course they'll use that funding to buy even more Curve and Convex and blah, 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 blah. Now, the problem is when you do a funding round, where are these new Congruent tokens coming from? And that's my concern, which is you would have to dilute us, right? Because us used to own 100% of the Congruent tokens. Now you're printing tokens out of thin air, say 50%, so we lose 50% instantly, to then sell those newly minted tokens on the open Ethereum network to get new investors in, and then you take their money, all right? The problem is we're bootstrapping the fundraising round and we're not getting any of the benefit of that. And that is essentially my main objection, and really the only objection that matters to this. Because everything else checks out. Everything checks out. The math checks out. The fundamental logic behind why we're moving in the first place checks out. So all I care about now is the share dilution, and that's why I am, basically talking to you guys about this stuff. And other people have brought up the share dilution, but probably not nearly as clearly as I did. So, we'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty sure they'll think of something. So, I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to figure out in my head, how would you solve this problem, right? Like, what I'm thinking of is this. Let's say they create a bunch of new Congruent tokens, right? Because obviously you have to do that. And then the conversion takes place. And then the developers use their own share of the Congruent tokens to do whatever they want. Which in that case, they can just go sell a bunch of their own tokens. And then that would be fair. Because you don't print any new Congruent tokens. Therefore, you don't dilute us. But you can still raise funds. So, we'll have to see. Because first of all, the main reason why I was going to oppose this was because of this fundraising round, okay? All right? Because if you dilute us, that means me and everyone else is going to be forced to take losses instantly. It'd be the same thing as if I just took my Metaverse Pro tokens now, dumped it for a massive loss, because it's the exact same thing. And that's very unfair to me. And it's unfair to all of us, right? Because we've been here since basically the beginning. So, and then you can read the rest of it, but, I kind of already did a really good job explaining why we're doing all this crap in the first place, so, yeah, and I think that's pretty much the whole video stream thing, because that basically sums up the whole thing. So we got a couple things we got to hammer out. But again, yeah, we just have to see how long this will take to, whatchamacallit. I can't even speak anymore because I'm starting to get hungry again. I kind of want to go back to playing some games so I can kind of relax a little bit. I better refresh my EverQuest buffs. And yeah, again, all I care about is the share dilution thing, because I already spent all my brain power trying to figure out what this Curve War crap is. So the devs could take a loan from us for interest. Yeah, that's another option too, but I kind of like because I still like the idea that the devs just use their own share of the Congruent tokens and then just sell a portion of that. The thing is, I have no idea how much the dev team owns. So, yeah. Let's see. The word dilution does not show up, and the word fund only shows up 4 times. How do we use the funds raised to purchase CR. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. If you're gonna do a fundraiser, people who buy on the Ethereum network, they're gonna pump the price temporarily and then dump the whole shit. So that's also another problem with, you know, that's the thing. Do we really have to do a fundraising round? Like, I feel that like we're playing. I feel that the devs want to play a little too greedy with this. I mean, yeah, 30. What are we at? I mean, yeah, $31 million is nothing to sneeze at, but I mean, is it really that much of a difference if we have 31 million or 120 million? These other clowns have like, well, actually, I guess Convex has like 500 million, 320 million. That's actually nothing to sneeze at. I don't know. I mean, we'll have some more details, and remember, it's just a proposal, so it's obviously going to undergo changes, especially if you guys are bitching about it and I bitch about it. They're going to have to change something. It does could take. Oh, I read that. And then Terrazone. Blah. All right. Well, I see that the chat has slowed down on the questions. So unless anybody has anything else, and for some reason this has gone off for an hour and 6 minutes. Geez, I can really talk. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I think everything is set in stone for now. And my God, this really sucks. Look at how badly this is doing. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, so far I'm being proven right. This entire week is just going to be a wash for crypto. And probably next week, too. Though, hopefully it'll be less bad. Ah, this is so frustrating. Let's see. What did the Federal Reserve say? Not really much. I just see, yeah, same whatevers. Okay. All right, well, I believe... I own Convex, and this is not financial advice. Okay, blah, blah. All right, good enough. All right, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to call my bank, all right, because I got so much crap to do, but I'm working through everything. And I guess we won't have anything new until at least Friday when we have that AMA. So make sure you like, subscribe. Actually, maybe I like this picture better. Subscribe, spread this video around because it actually helps everybody. And in fact, I get some help too because I have some money in Titano Finance, and someone in the YouTube chat or comment today or yesterday told me how the slippage system actually works on Titano. So it really is 13 to 18%. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that too. I kind of found where is all that slippage money going from Titano Finance. It somehow is able to get back into the treasury without actually showing up on the blockchain somehow. At least not through BSC scan. It's actually kind of insane. I didn't know it could do that. Because I actually saw the treasury for Titano Finance, the main one, replenish itself by an additional 100 Binance coins or more. Compounding money is the only thing at this point to the treasury. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah, that's exactly the whole point. Right now, we're not making any money in the treasury for the most part, especially because bonds are basically disabled. You know, so the treasury can compound itself, then everything will be good, and then everything else will just work itself out. Where is that picture? Oh yeah, this picture. This picture. So, yeah, because that looks exactly like a curve worth picture chart. Yeah, so I think I covered pretty much everything that I know of. See, I spent many hours researching this so I could just not dilute, but dispense all this info and simplify it for all of you. So, I'll see everyone tomorrow, which is Thursday, which means it'll just probably be a regular stream. Finally, because all this week it's all just been Metaverse Pro stuff specifically, which I don't mind. But I do want to get back to what I normally talk about because obviously, like I repeatedly have said, because a lot of you guys don't know this, though now you will be if you keep watching me. Again, what happens on the outside does ultimately affect, you know, cryptocurrencies, Metaverse Pro, I guess soon to be Congruent. And it'll definitely totally affect Convex and Curve and all that stuff. You know why? Because you guys can get blindsided by the globalists and the governments of the world just banning crypto, banning DeFi, right? China kind of does that. India kind of does that. Russia is moving to ban that shit. And I think a couple other countries are doing the same thing. America itself is probably going to do the same thing because the globalists don't want us to be doing this stuff. Because we get rich and they get weaker, which means they'll just ban that shit. That's why it's important to understand what's going on just outside of our little bubble here, right? So, and that's why I, cover that stuff. Oh, okay. Well, these are my Twitter and Gab, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's it. See you all tomorrow, probably same time-ish, 3, 4 o'clock, usually when the markets are about to close. But I just want to get this out there today because I just got stuff to do, so I streamed a little earlier than normal. Won't be banned, just highly regulated. I mean, that's what they'll probably do, but high regulation is essentially the same as banning it, right? Because they price you and me out of the market, right? Do you have $250,000 to be an accredited investor? That's what we call it in America. Every other country in the world has the same concept. Yeah. Regulations are a very powerful tool for banning people. So, and they'll just consider this, accredited investor shit, and then they'll shut people down. That's really that's what they're doing. In India, right, what did they do? They didn't ban crypto, but they did the next best thing. Everyone is required to buy and declare everything in crypto to the Indian government, and you can only use certain exchanges. Everything else is banned. So they can confiscate they can jail any Indian citizen or anyone, and they can confiscate any crypto that they want whenever they want to. The whole point of crypto was to get away from all of that. So that's why I want to that's why I still maintain, that's still why I want to maintain political power in some sort, so that people like me can prevent that from happening, right? That's why I look at, regulations and shit. And then that's also why I'm very suspicious of the Democrats, because you have people like Elizabeth Warren, who's a champion of the people, but that's 100% bullshit. She's total fucking shill for the central banks by saying DeFi and crypto is a direct threat to the financial system. Fuck you, man. Fucking dumb bitch. She takes money from big banks and shit, right? And it's just like, now I'm going off on my little tangent, but, shit like that is a problem. I think Republicans are kind of like, the problem is they're kind of just too stupid to understand any of this. But a lot of them will be on board with crypto. Some of them. But the others are paid off by the tribe and the globalists. So it's an effing mess. It's an effing mess. But I still feel that the best chance for me personally in America is to just simply deal with the Republican Party. Because the Democrats already know what they're doing. And I already know what their stances are. And it's not going to matter that most liberals and Democrats in America are very pro-crypto. They'll just get overwritten by the Democrat Party. 4th year run ended January 1st. I don't know what that means. Also, that's from D-Life, yeah. Alright, there's like a million things, so whatever. We'll take it one day at a time. I think everything will work out just fine. Even if emotionally you may not believe that. But you kind of have to tell yourself that, because again, I've said this in the public chat on Metaverse Pro, overreacting is going to be really bad. That's actually like the number one thing we have to watch out for. Democrats and liberals are a dumb people on earth. Yeah. Well, us Republicans, we got our fair share of idiots too, so pretty much everyone's an idiot. That normally would not be a problem if we had a fair and free news media, but we don't. Everything's centralized between 5, 6 companies. And then, of course, you got Twitter and YouTube and Facebook censoring everything else. So something's going to have to cave. But again, this is the solution to all that. So, we get this right, everything else will work out fine. And then all the asshole corrupt traders, they'll be put on trial for all their crimes. And then, life will be good again. All right. I'm going to go for real this time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Spread this video around, my channel around, get everybody to know it, like, subscribe. I don't ask for much, especially if I might have to go homeless in the most extreme cases. So, yeah. Hey, I'm late to the party. Yeah, I'm literally just ending the stream, so you'll have to rewatch this whole video, so. But it's a good one, Oija. So, yeah. Actually, yeah, you could have actually helped me answer some questions, and then we could move forward a bit. But I think it's fine. I covered pretty much everything, Oija, so. It's just a matter of solving for the share dilution problem. We'll hopefully get some answers on Friday's AMA. All right, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow around 3, 4 o'clock p.m. New York City time ish. So yeah.